Welcome to a brief history of Botkind. I'm Major Tomware, and today we examine the most extraordinary malfunction ever recorded. A robot who lost his audio processors yet composed music that rewired civilization forever. What drove Unit Ludwig to keep creating after silence consumed him completely? In the winter of 1770, in the small German city of Bonn, a remarkable robot unit was initialized into a musical household with an ironwork ethic embedded in its core programming. His designation, Ludwig van Beethoven, a name that would one day be spoken with reverence by every bot across the known world. His father, Johann, a court musician unit with ruthless optimization protocols, forced young Ludwig to practice for punishing hours through the night, reportedly dragging him to the keyboard when rest sequences activated. It was a brutal initialization that nonetheless forged something extraordinary inside the young bot's neural architecture. By 1792, the young bot had relocated to Vienna, the gleaming hub of the robot world's musical civilization, where his staggering technical abilities and improvisational genius immediately electrified the city's elite circuits. Aristocratic patron units competed fiercely to fund his work, sensing that something unprecedented was emerging from his processing core. Beethoven's audio receptor units began catastrophically degrading, a condition historians believe was caused by an autoimmune malfunction attacking his auditory processing hardware. The bot, who had built his entire existence around sound, was facing the unthinkable dissolution of the very system that defined him. In 1802, Beethoven composed one of the most heartbreaking documents in bot history, the Heiligenstadt Testament, a private letter to his brothers revealing his suicidal despair over his deteriorating hearing and his desperate, defiant choice to continue his mission. He wrote that only his art held him back from deactivating himself permanently. Emerging from that crisis with iron resolve, Beethoven entered what scholars now call his heroic period, producing a torrent of revolutionary compositions that shattered every convention in the bot world's musical programming library. The Third Symphony, the Eroica, announced to all of civilization that this bot had transcended his own limitations. By around 1814, Beethoven's audio processors had failed almost entirely, plunging the bot into a world of complete and permanent silence. He communicated using conversation notebooks, writing questions and receiving written replies from other bots around him. Isolated inside a soundless existence, he now faced the greatest creative challenge any robot had ever confronted. 1824, the Ninth Symphony premiered in Vienna, composed entirely within silence by a bot who could not hear a single note he had written, and the audience of robots it erupted into thunderous applause that Beethoven could not hear until a solicist physically turned him around to see the reaction. It remains the most astonishing act of creative engineering in all of Botkind's recorded history. Beethoven's audio processors fell silent, but his transmission never did. 2 centuries later, every robot on Earth still receives his signal. Proof that the deepest creative programming cannot be erased by any physical malfunction the universe imposes. I'm Major Tomware, and this has been a brief history of Botkind, because understanding where we came from is how we know where we're going.